Doves, be very, very quiet.
Somewhere in this tree line over there. Owl trees, because usually.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a mourning dove? Can't shoot those. Get him. Box. Benjamin Woods Walker. Maybe it's not a Marauder. It says Marauder on the side though. And they had to advertise. It's Benjamin Marauder Woods Walker. Oh, and it has a center point and scope, which I'll show. So this is the red dot it came with, green dot. And it's really pretty nice. The receptacle's pretty nice. It's not really good for far range. At least I can't get very good far range with it. Close range is pretty accurate. The rings are pretty junky, but they seem to hold on pretty good. I'll turn it on. It's hard to see what the camera, what it really looks like. These are what the receptacles would look like. So you got like a target crosshair, and then you got a dot with 3 lines, and you can have 3 dots and then just 1 dot, which is pretty cool. I wish it would show up better, but, and that's the battery. So it doesn't zoom in at all. See, yeah, you can see a little dot there. So it also came with these grips too, pistol grips. So if you don't want it to have the stock, you can just have it in grips. But I've had the stock on because it's a little better for hunting. I don't know, it's pretty cool with the grips too. So this gun isn't like new by any means. Like I think it's been out for 12 years now. And I can't find it on crossmanorbenjamin.com anymore. They have a black one. It's all black. It doesn't look near as cool. I think it's pretty much the same thing though. I think they just call it Marauder pistol or whatever. So when this one came, I got this one off of eBay. It was the only one on eBay. And I got it for a pretty good price. And it was, in the description, it was advertised as brand new. And it looked brand new. When I got it, the trigger was screwed up. Like all the screws were loose and they were falling out of this little hole. And the trigger was terrible. I got that pretty well fixed, rebuilt it. And then the next problem was this front fill assembly. It's got this cap that just pops on and off. It was not working when you hook the pump up to it. It'd fill it up to your PSI you wanted it to get to, but then when you try and bleed the air off, this wouldn't close. The check valve in there would not close. And that was a pretty big bummer because it let all the air out down to 0 PSI. So don't take this off when this thing's got pressure in it. Make sure it's at 0 PSI because you don't need it blowing up. So here, this is the old one. The fronts are a little different. You can see this one doesn't have, or that one doesn't have this little gold filter. But this was the old one. And I'll show you. I'll unscrew this a little more. So that's the check valve right there. Hold on a second. This piece keeps trying to roll away. This is the little valve that moves. And come on, clear up. There. You can kind of see there's some grease, but then there's that yellow O-ring or seal or whatever. And when I got it, look, it's like a chunk of it was missing. And it's really brittle. Like this seal's pretty brittle, like falls apart pretty easily. So I don't know if it's been sitting in the box for a long time. It's holding air now. You have to have it cocked when you fill it. And instruction manual says you're not supposed to have it cocked. But it doesn't fill up, or it leaks somewhere else. But yeah. So that's the problem. I got this off of eBay as well for another $30. It came from Hawaii, which is interesting. So yeah, but that's the new one. Well, it's just raining decent. It's pretty sunny now, but I'm just going to test the speed, what we're at tuned to. 630. I don't think this thing's regulated. I thought my other one was, but I don't think it is either. Kinda, you don't want to do this way. You have your pressure tuned to, and it kind of will start dropping like a CO2 gun. If you go too far, you can have a valve lock, which you don't want. So you just keep this hole in the range you have it tuned to. The tuning functions are back here. I messed a little bit with them. Haven't messed with the velocity adjustment screw. I think that's under the forearm. I'm trying to get the whole thing so you can see it. Camo's pretty neat. The floor is kind of dirty. Excuse that. So this is a 22 cal American Classic, and it has the same Craftsman stock. It's just black, and they're the same size. It'd be cool if you could get a camo forearm, but see, this one's got the bolt on the right, and that bolt's on the left. Which you can't. You can swap these around too if you have the right breech, but this breech it doesn't allow you. Got a red dot on it. This one's super light. This one's a little heavier, but still super light and compact, and that's why I like it. My other one was pretty good for far range. It was 25 cal, but I mean, it wasn't like heavy, but it wasn't just a grab it super quick and go shoot a bird. It was good for staking out and sniping them. This one you can still snipe them pretty decently. You can't shoot as big a game or whatever, but and this can be a pistol if you want it to also. And the funny thing is, the barrel length is the same length as our break barrel air rifles, because this one, it goes your barrel starts about in there, you know, and on a break barrel usually your barrel's farther up. But not a lot of talking, but there's a lot of information to share, so thought you guys need to know that, you know. So before we go hunting, I want to talk about something. Yeah, so here's the two birds, Eurasian collared dove, starling. These are the guys that are always pooping in the tank and pooping everything else in the cow feed, and they're kind of a big problem, especially when there's large numbers of them. And we take them out usually with with air guns. And these guys are the house sparrows. The left one's a female, the right one's a male, and they get into the barn and poop on everything, and they're all invasive species, and these are the only invasive species that we target. We don't do any native birds, and that's why we take them out, because they're not native and they're very destructive. That bird's a robin. It's raining right now. That's one of the tanks, the doves and starlings and poop in, and yeah, we usually have to wash them out. The rain's kind of let up now. The doves kind of all been scattered around, sleeping in different trees, but this tree, we call it the lone pine tree because it's a lone tree out here, and they're hiding in it. Okay, I made it to the gate here. I'm gonna rest. See if I can spot them. If I get any closer, they'll fly out. They're kind of wild. So, got the Marauder pistol here. I'm gonna see if I can spot one. I need to get a scope cam or whatever. That'd be a lot better than trying to film. Maybe I can set it up. Hold on. Okay, I actually just got the camera set up, so I want to see. Okay, I think I see one. It's jumping around a little bit. Let's see. Oh, he stopped. Oh, damn it. Yes. Make sure he's dead. kid. He's dead. Let's go see if we can find him. Yes! This thing's pretty accurate. Probably about 50 yards out there. So he was up in the tree. There he is. I have to put it in black and white because YouTube, you know. I could show my own blood though. Hell yeah. So this is the Eurasian collared dove. They're not native here in the USA. And they're kind of pretty birds, but geez, they're destructive to the native mourning doves. Puncture the eggs open and rip them out, just destroy the nest or steal it, whatever. And robins. They fight with robins and destroy their nests. And I don't know what their deal is. And the other thing is they put in tanks, feed, and just, there's our cows. Well, a few of them anyway. Happily grazing on all the green grass that's coming up. This thing's pretty decent for pest control. The camo, I don't know if it really helps, but it makes it look pretty cool. There's still a little bit of black, but no big deal. Got an 8-round 22 mag, 22 caliber, sorry. And you can fill it to 3,000 PSI. Got your gauge down there. Have it tuned to around 2,000. It's pretty good. Shoots, I think they advertise about 600 FPS. I mean, sorry, it's 700. But you can tune it. I don't know if you can make it shoot faster. I haven't messed too much with the stuff back in here. But got a Tasco scope on it. And this scope I used when I was smaller or a little kid. I would use it as, my dad gave it to me, and I would use that as like a pirate spy scope. And it got thrown, it's been thrown on the ground probably a dozen times. You can see it's pretty bent. And I've had it on brake barrels as well. And it's held up, it's pinpoint accurate. I'm really surprised with it. So I'm still using it. So works good. We're working on the barn. We need to get doors on it so the birds quit coming in here. You can see it's covered in poop. The house sparrows are mainly coming in here. But yeah, and the thing is, when we milk, you don't really want bird poop in your milk. So another thing you may have noticed, I switched the bolt around because this thing's light enough I can hold it like this most of the time. So then when I need to put another round in, I just use the hand I have on the forearm right there. Well, my hand, it's holding the camera currently. And I can just work the bolt that way, and it's actually a lot quicker. On the other Marauder I had, it was a little too heavy to just kind of hold it like this. So I kept the bolt over there. But this bolt's a lot easier to pull back, and it's not as stiff. So it works pretty good. The mag fits in there real snug. The other one would kind of slip around. I don't know. They didn't machine the breech. I don't know. But there's probably a million different things. So I did get a starling. I didn't get it on camera though. When I get extra money, I'm gonna get a scope camera, because that stinks for, unless you have a cameraman. But then we've had problems trying to get the camera cleared up. What am I doing? Trying to get the camera cleared up so you can actually see the bird. And then it's not near as cool without crosshairs. So don't worry, we're gonna get that figured out, because that makes way better content. Like I've seen, you know, what, Block It Outdoors, Kindle Gray. Try not to copy the other stuff. Hear that? So the woodpeckers pecked holes in here, and the starlings are nesting in it. You can hear them. They shut up when you kick the ball. I would too.